I'm Johnstone, and this is Jakub. We're filmmakers, but hopefully not just the kind you've seen before. We've travelled the globe, capturing tales from adventures up close. From ultramarathons in the Amazon to summiting Kilimanjaro, our drive for discovery always pulls us back. In this series, we dive into the wild, tackling fresh challenges and learning new skills. This is our journey, shaped by nature's raw power. Welcome to the Wildway. In today's episode, we dive into the thrilling world of wildlife videography for the very first time. We break down essential gear, share our process, and reveal what it takes, or what it doesn't, to capture Bulgaria's fascinating creatures. Join us on this unforgettable adventure.
Today, Jakub and I are exploring the Rhodope Mountains in eastern Bulgaria on a mission to document some truly spectacular wildlife.
This area is a wildlife haven, one of the densest in the Balkans, teeming with fallow deer, Griffon vultures, wild boar, wolves and the majestic European bison.
Before we go any further, let's talk equipment. I'll be shooting on the Canon R6 Mark I with the RF 100-400 f5.6 to f8 lens. I chose the Mark I because in my experience it has better stabilization than the Mark II. The lens is light and versatile, and since I'll be filming mostly in bright sunlight, the narrower aperture isn't a big issue. I'll also be using a 2 to 5 stop variable ND filter to keep the natural filmic look. For audio, I'm using the Sennheiser shotgun mic. And finally, I've opted for a lightweight tripod with a fluid head, light enough for hiking and smooth enough to track movement. Overall, it's not a perfect setup, but it's reasonably priced and a solid starting point for wildlife videography.
So we have came across our first wildlife, and this is a half-wild horse. They call it Konik.
The Konik horse was rewilded in Bulgaria to help restore natural habitats and support biodiversity. Similar to the extinct wild horses that once roamed Europe, Koniks play an important role in the landscape. Their grazing keeps grasslands open, prevents overgrowth, and helps create a healthier, more balanced ecosystem.
This is going to be harder than we thought. My camera is shaking like this. I'm going to start playing. Everything's fine, but with a little bit of wind, it starts shaking. We found a really nice spot here. I don't think the horses can see us. They probably can. Yeah, they have spotted me right now. One is looking at me.
I'll tell you one thing I've noticed so far, is you need a lot of memory space. But yeah, this is interesting. You've got to kind of predict what they're going to do, where they're going to look, where they're going to go. You know, so that you can get your shots and get your nice framing. Like it's a game of anticipation and being ahead of the horse. Oh, this one looks a bit interested in us.
When you're filming wildlife, is to look for little moments, you know, little things that animals do that kind of help you form a story.
I actually didn't expect it to be as rewarding as this. When you see the animals just have their little moments, it kind of makes them a little bit more relatable, and like, you know, they've all got their own personality. That's cool. I hadn't expected to appreciate that. And I can see why people like this.
For my setup, I'm using the Panasonic GH6 paired with a Leica 100-400 f5.6 to 6.3 lens. This combination excites me for several reasons. The Micro Four Thirds format effectively doubles the focal length, transforming the lens into a 200 to 800mm full-frame equivalent, providing exceptional reach for capturing wildlife. Additionally, the GH6's impressive 4K 120 frames per second slow motion allows for stunning, high-quality footage, which could be crucial in capturing such fleeting moments. For my tripod, I've chosen a robust, heavy-duty model. Unlike Jakub's lightweight tripod, my decision was made by observing that professional wildlife videographers consistently seem to use sturdy, reliable tripods. We'll soon see whose choice proves wiser in the field.
Holy shit, that is deer. That is deer. So we're just walking through. It's not even gonna hear me.
We're literally just walking along this path, and then like there's this tree on the horizon, and there's something that looks funny next to it. It's just a deer on the horizon.
Holy
Fucking
shit.
crazy.
Shit.
It's come off the horizon now. Come on.
Damn it.
Stand back up.
I think
Stand
it's seen us.
Go on, go back up. I think that's kind of the hardest part done, right? Was we were actually trying to find him, but
I mean, we did find it, but it's very far away.
yeah.
And we don't know where this path leads. If we don't follow the path, we have to go off-road, and the terrain is a little bit tricky. So,
Yeah.
and the sun's going down very fast.
We got to set up camp so we can continue this in the morning. So yeah, we'll see if we've got enough time. Right,
Right,
let's go.
let's go. We are following this road, and there's a lot of different footprints, mostly deer. But this one is very, very interesting. It looks like a wolf paw.
Imagine we saw a wolf.
Jesus. We've seen a herd of at least 20 deer, and we managed to capture them from this point, but they have very good eyesight, and they just spotted us from all the way over there. So,
I reckon it's probably about time to call it a day and set up camp. And then wake up for sunrise in the morning and see what we can find, because we've got an amazing viewpoint here. We walked about 7 kilometers through the forest, and it's now just opened up. Here behind us is a hunting station that they use during the hunting months, but now it's not allowed, so we're making the most of it. The sun's just about to rise, so we're going to get up and see what we can find.
it's still a little bit dark, so I'm going to see if I can capture anything, but better than nothing. The moments I'm getting are just amazing. This is incredible.
Fallow deer thrive in woodlands, meadows and open parklands. Graceful and social, they move in herds, more often at dawn and dusk. Their quiet presence brings beauty to the landscape and helps keep the ecosystem in balance. While they primarily graze on grasses and herbaceous plants during the summer, they also consume woody plants, bark and fungi during autumn and winter, when nutrition in the grass is low. These grazing and browsing patterns transform the terrain, encouraging a great diversity of plant growth.
We have been blessed with the amount of deer we have seen this morning, so that's really cool. Johnny.
ready?
We were not ready for that.
Well, I got a really nice shot.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
We spent hours like creeping up on them, and now they're creeping up on us.
Here we are trying to film the Griffon Vultures. Enormous birds with wingspans that can reach nearly 3 meters. They glide effortlessly over the cliffs, scanning the land below. As scavengers, they play a crucial role in the ecosystem, cleaning up carcasses which, left to decay, can often foster harmful organisms. These scavengers cleanse the landscape, even helping to prevent the spread of disease. Once widespread in Bulgaria, the Griffon vulture went virtually extinct in the early 1970s due to food scarcity, habitat loss, and persecution. In 1986, a small colony was rediscovered near Majerovo, around 50 kilometers east from here. Since then, conservation efforts have supported the species recovery, where now around 100 nesting pairs now reside in these mountains. Despite this encouraging figure, recent poisoning incidents highlight the threats that these birds still face. Silent, patient, and always circling high, Griffon vultures are Bulgaria's soaring guardians.
So the time has come, we've got to say goodbye to this beautiful place. We've got an 8-kilometer hike back to the car, but fear not, the adventure is not over. We are headed north
To a land called Stara Zagora, to meet with a local wildlife expert.
This is Gradimir.
Здравейте!
For over 30 years, Gradimir has made the mountains his home, leaving behind city life to embrace the wild. As a park ranger in the Central Balkan Mountains for the past 8 years, his passion for hiking and wildlife photography has driven his mission to protect the land he loves. Deeply connected to the rhythms of this place, Gradimir is committed to preserving its beauty and wildlife. Today, he is guiding us into the heart of the mountains to track the chamois, an iconic species of these high cliffs. Blending seamlessly into the rocks and always alert, the chamois reveals itself only on its own terms.
So heavy.
Not cut out for being a wildlife videographer, huh?
Yeah, not yet, but I'm building up to it.
So Gradimir right now is showing us his wildlife hide that he's built himself.
What?
As I made it 3 years ago,
5-star hide.
you can sleep here for many nights without problem.
This is actually pretty good. So this is Gradimir's hide. He just looks through here, through this window.
Here is not like in Spain and France, we have a power always.
Oh my god. This is perfect. I need to build something like something like this. This is great.
What are you going to watch? The dog?
Yeah. And my cat.
So we just paused for a moment there because there are these small kind of like prairie dogs or marmots that sort of run around these slopes here, and Gradimir is saying that sometimes the foxes come in here and hunt them, but they're quite hard to see.
If you stand quiet, they will begin to move and to stand up, and so different behavior will show.
These animals look so cute, and I think the name of them is Suslik.
So I don't know how this has happened, but I stumbled across one. It's literally like 6 or 7 meters away. I've got my camera directly focused where it's going to come out, so hopefully.
The European ground squirrel, fondly known as the suslik, is a spirited little rodent that makes its home in the sunlit meadows and grasslands. Ever nimble, it zips between patches of food and its extensive underground burrows, always keeping a sharp eye out for trouble. This sociable creature shapes its ecosystem with remarkable influence. Its burrowing network aerates the soil, fostering healthier landscapes, whilst its presence provides essential prey for predators like hawks and foxes. By consuming invasive plants, the suslik helps preserve native flora, maintaining the delicate balance of these vibrant mountain grasslands.
I'm already snacking.
It was so funny when Jakub started snacking, like a guy I'm trying to film like popped up like, who the fuck's snacking? Of course, it's Jakub.
Now it's too cold. In the morning it was 2 degrees today.
Yeah, it was very cold.
Yeah.
I mean, our goal is not to film these horses, but I couldn't help with the scenery. It just looks epic, you know.
Just tell me what we just seen.
The golden eagle family together. A rare situation.
So we were just walking along, getting closer to this herd of horses, and literally out of nowhere, this huge golden eagle, like honestly the size of a horse, that's what it looked like with its wingspan, like came flying over the ridge. And I mean, I was totally not prepared. This is why we are with the expert. Gradimir managed to capture some truly insane photos. So you're showing me a thing or two. I was telling him earlier, I was like, you should have this camera clip so you can, you know, walk with your hands free. And he's like, no, I prefer to, you know, just walk carrying it like this. And to no surprise, he just went whap, bang. Amazing photos. So
Just big like a horse.
What the hell? That's crazy.
This was walking of the father with the last year child.
Mm-hmm. And where do you think they went? Do you think they'll come back?
If you walk for 6 hours, you see them at least 3 times, because this is the area, this gorge is the area.
Yeah, yeah.
Also this south slope here, about 2 kilometers to the west. Look at this, guys.
This view is incredible. I love Bulgaria.
So right now we're kind of scanning the horizon lines of these ridges just to see if we can see any sort of movement. And of course, Gradimir is expert at spotting things that we are simply not capable or able to yet. So this is so cool to be out here with him, because, well, we're getting like a private one-on-one lesson with a guy who knows every rock in this landscape. So
Beside us is a beautiful gorge where, like, a lot of the wildlife is. Right now, we are entering a bit where we may encounter a chamois, so I'm hoping for the best. Now the incline has stopped, and finally I can have a rest and enjoy the walk and search for a chamois.
We can look for chamois. This is a solo mission, just because you're carrying the gear. So right now we're just looking for the chamois. We're in the right area, but we can't seem to see any. Gradimir keeps checking through his long lens, kind of using them as like binoculars. Oh, you found one? You found one? Okay, we've got one.
Over the big green spot.
Yeah,
green
above.
spot, or above the.
Yeah, okay.
Almost at the top.
Making our way around now onto the ridge. We've got the cameras out, we're set up. Hopefully we're going to get some amazing shots of these things.
And all of a sudden from behind us, a chamois just starts sprinting down the hill.
At the moment we're finding it pretty difficult to find any more chamois. Gradimir thinks that they've gone down into the valley, into the gorge, basically because they've already shed their winter coats and they've had like a bout of really quite cold weather. And there's also some fresh grass down there that's growing. So we've seen a couple of hardy ones, but apart from that,
Another chamois is going down.
Where is it?
You see it running down.
I can get used to this, eating snacks and just filming chamois that's not even moving.
For them it's very normal to run at least 50 kilometers per hour in a rocky place. They inhabit some of the best, some of the prettiest places in our nature. Chamois is also a little bit easier to be seen because they inhabit the open places. I have not been in many places in the world, but I could stay here every day and never get enough of this place.
the amount we've seen and the amount that you've shown us is just insane to think like how much more there is to this place. So we just want to say thank you for showing us around, and you know, hopefully we've learned a thing or two with our skills, and one day we'll be as good as you are.
For me, it was a great pleasure. I was always lucky to share this place with people like you that enjoy the same things like me.
Awesome.
And so, our time in these mountains comes to an end. What did we learn?
Well, looking through the footage, Johnstone and I got pretty comparable shots. Though I struggled with the flimsiness of my tripod, especially with the wind, I was able to stabilize the shots in post to get some great usable footage.
With my sturdier tripod, I didn't have the problem of the wind per se, but I really struggled to get smooth panning shots. The head on my tripod wasn't fluid like Jakub's. It was very jerky, which led to difficulty panning, and in framing static shots, as I was always micro-adjusting to get the frame I wanted. It would seem a sturdy tripod with a fluid head that can smoothly support the weight of the camera would be the best upgrade we could make at this stage. As for the cameras, they both worked great. However, I did find the lack of autofocus quite hard sometimes. I'm not sure if that's just a trait of doing this for the first time, but I just found myself hunting for focus more than I'd have liked, which then led to missing certain moments.
For me, all that was missing was the extra reach that Johnston's setup offered. 400mm sounds like a lot, but leveling up to somewhere around 600mm or beyond would be ideal. Looking back, I think the main challenge we faced was, rather than being one step ahead of the animals, it felt like we were always one step behind. And the most magical moments we had out there were when the animals came to us.
I think next time we need to spend more effort becoming familiar with the environment. This was what made our day with Gradimir so special, because he was that person for us. He was that person that knew every rock in that national park, and he had already done the waiting for us. And I think that's the key thing we have to develop going forwards. Despite the challenges we faced, this wildlife filming adventure genuinely surprised us. It's filmmaking in its rawest form. The unpredictability, not knowing what story you're going to tell, and being in the moment, the adventure, these are all elements that are so integral to filming wildlife. And doing it with a mate, that's a pretty good deal, we say.
Oh, my ass! My ass! The Wildway! Oh, that was the worst bomb I ever did in my life, man.
You should have seen mine. I entered sideways.
This is gonna hurt me for a while.